Nick here and welcome back to another Supergirl episode review. My thoughts on tonight's episode of Supergirl titled Solitude. And you know what? For this episode being just another filler episode, I actually really enjoyed it. There's a lot of fun Easter eggs in there. Seeing Laura Vandervoort from Smallville coming to the Superman universe again. Ran in a different role. But you know, seeing her, even though her role was a little cheesy, I enjoyed seeing her and seeing her back, especially fighting with Kara. And just seeing that kind of like, because she was Supergirl at one point, and seeing her fight the current Supergirl, I like seeing that a lot. And definitely seeing some interesting character dynamics I wasn't expecting to see. Seeing Wynn and Siobhan have their weird romantic thing. I don't know what's going on with that. And seeing Lucy kind of step up in the sense of like, when she actually started helping them figure out what's going on with Indigo. Like, this was the first time in the show that I felt like Lucy was useful. And I don't mean to, like, knock down the character of the actress or anything. I just feel like the writers haven't done anything with her as a character that made me care that much about her or made me want to be, like, that much interested in her. Because they really just set her up as a character to be just another love addition and to create this, you know, stupid love triangle with these shows that I have always had problems with. But, you know, again, this is the first time I felt like, you know what, like, they made her do something, and I liked seeing it. And you know what? Like, a lot of people might complain about the whole, like, her, like, whining over James thing. I think her issues with James are justified, because James is in this relationship with her, right? But it's so obvious he has feelings for Kara. And it's like, why are you going to be with someone when you clearly have stronger feelings for someone else? It's not fair to that person. And Lucy even says, like, I sympathize with her in this episode. Like, seeing that kind of stuff just really bothers me, and the fact that they're finally addressing it episodes later. I'm glad that they're finally doing something with that. So what else did I like? I liked definitely one of the biggest Easter eggs of the episode that I enjoyed was the fact that, you know, besides them going to Superman's Fortress of Solitude, which was awesome, finding out that Indigo was actually, you know, part of Brainiac's race. And me being obviously the Superman fan and comic book fan that I know, Brainiac is like one of the biggest Superman villains that there is, period. And when those first images of the episode were released, and we got the first look at Indigo, despite how awful she looked at first and how much she just looked like a knockoff of Mystique, much like how Red Tornado just felt like a really bad knockoff of Vision. Besides the look of the character, I like the character, I already said that, but the fact, you know, she had the Brainiac like symbol on her forehead, I was just like, oh, like, I just thought that was like a cool Easter egg. But to find out that she actually is a part of Brainiac's race makes me wonder, like, is Brainiac going to be something that they bring up down the line? You know, because I've always thought that Brainiac would be a villain that I would love to see in a Superman standalone movie or even a Justice League movie. Because I feel like they haven't done Brainiac, well, they haven't done Brainiac since Smallville. And even then, it didn't really feel like Brainiac. It just felt like some guy just being, or saying that he's Brainiac, even though he's really not. So I'm wondering, maybe they'll play into that at some point. Who knows? Another cool Easter egg that we saw in the episode was the Legion of Superheroes flight ring. And that's funny because a few weeks back on The Flash, when they show Barry Allen going through, like, and he's seeing all the different multiverses, you see a Legion of Superheroes ring as well. So I'm wondering if, like, in both universes, if that's in the future or if that's another separate universe or what's going on with that. I mean, obviously in this universe, if you see Superman in Fortress of Solitude have his flight ring, more than likely they are in that timeline. So that'll be interesting to see if that plays out down the line as well, or if it's just a fun Easter egg for us fans. And the Legion of Superheroes is something that, you know, it's really cheesy, and it had its own cartoon it had its own cartoon like about 10 years ago. I actually enjoyed, by the way. And they had the Legion of Superheroes on Smallville for a bit, and I like that too. And I feel like that kind of superhero team, that superhero group, can actually work well within this universe, even in the Flash and Arrow universe. Because, you know, it's a very cheesy kind of tones, very similar to Supergirl in a sense. And, you know, I think it would fit very well. So again, like, who knows? We'll see what happens with that. And also seeing when Kara and James go to this Fortress of Solitude, and they do see the Superman key, and the fact that, like, much like in the comics, it's a key that only can be lifted by a Kryptonian or someone who has super strength. And I liked seeing that. And seeing the Fortress of Solitude, I thought it was a nice mix of what we see in the comics with the statue of Jor-El and Lara holding up the globe, as well as like the Christopher Reeve-esque kind of Fortress of Solitude that we got in obviously in Superman the movie, in Smallville, and for a short time in the comics. I liked seeing that whole sequence. I thought was really, really great, and seeing Kelex, that Kryptonian robot. And we also saw a bit of in Man of Steel, and other Superman stuff. I like seeing all this. Obviously, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this episode. So to finally get that out of the way, what else? I did like seeing Winn being incorporated into the DEO, and I said that last time that they showed him with the DEO. I feel like that's where he would fit best, because much like how Cisco Ramon is on the Flash, he works with Star Labs, he works directly with the Flash. I feel like Winn's abilities as a tech guy are better served with the DEO, because he has a lot more access to like the global network, and he's able to help figure things out like at a quicker pace than he would at Catco. What else? I'm sorry, I'm just going off my notes here. And honestly, one of my favorite parts of the episode, honestly, I think it's one of the best scenes in the show in general, when Alex finally told Kara the truth about her killing Astra. Honestly, I think that was the best acted scene in the entire season so far. The actress who plays Alex delivered that so well. And I was really drawn into it when I was watching that scene. I just it's a scene it's her telling the truth is something I thought they should have done immediately after. I understand why they didn't at first, because they want to have that tension between Hank and Kara. Her finally finding out, and obviously and Kara having the reaction that I thought she would, but just that scene just felt so emotionally powerful, and everyone in that scene, it just felt really real. It just felt like raw emotion, and I really like seeing that. Even seeing Hank's reaction to it, and him coming in with them, I felt like, again, that was one of the best scenes in the show so far, and that was just an emotional scene. It wasn't some action packed comic booky kind of scene. It was just a real human and emotional scene, and that's a lot. That's why I think sometimes the show can really be good at it. I just feel like sometimes they fall back on because it's a CBS show, they're trying to cater to a wider audience that's not just the comic book audience. So they of course have to have these romantic stories going on, and these love triangles and all this kind of stupid stuff. But when it comes down to it, besides this being a show about a girl with super strength and all this stuff, these are really human characters. These are flawed characters, and seeing a scene like that, I actually really enjoyed it. There's some problems that I had with the episode. Just really minor things, because I like the episode obviously as a whole. But a couple of things I just didn't like. I already kind of mentioned this earlier. The look of Indigo is flat out ridiculous. She looks way too much like Mystique from X-Men. I don't know why they gave her that look. It's just it made absolutely no sense to me at all. And the show, it's weird because they show Laura Vandervoort in her normal blonde self on the computer screens, and when she comes out of the screen, she's some weird blue Mystique look. I hated the look. I mean, the character is okay. I mean, it came off a little cheesy, but you know what? I don't like the look. Much like what they did with Red Tornado, the look was bad. The way they used the character was good, not great, but good. And another thing I didn't care for at all was when it came to the point in the episode when Siobhan was having that scene with Winn, and she was basically telling him her whole life story. And I'm just whoa, this is completely unnecessary. We didn't ask for this. None of us care. I really don't care about any of this stuff going on at all. And then at the end when they start making out, I'm just wait, what? What? I understand Winn trying to help her out because she opened up to him and he wanted to open up to her. But then that kiss really came out of nowhere. I was okay. I was taken out because I was what the hell's going on? But other than that, that's the only real problems I had with the episode. Like I said, I really enjoyed tonight's episode. Again, with all the Easter eggs and the development of Kara and Alex's relationship, and seeing how this will affect their relationship moving forward. I really hope they don't try doing the same thing that they did with Hank. More than likely they won't, because Alex and Kara have a different relationship than her and Hank. I'm looking forward to see how everything with Non plays out, and the fact that he did bring back Indigo. So obviously Laura Vandervoort was more than likely coming back. And I'm actually kind of interested in what they do with Non as a character, as the villain of the season, I guess. So again, I'm looking forward to what's gonna play out the rest of the season. So with that being said, I think that's going to be it for me, guys. So if you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit subscribe below. I do review all these superhero shows every week when they're not on hiatus. I review Supergirl on Mondays, Flash on Tuesdays, Arrow on Wednesdays, the new DC show Legends of Tomorrow on Thursdays, and a lot of other videos and stuff in between. They're also on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, comment below, let me guys know what you guys thought of the episode. Did you guys like it? Did you guys have problems with it? Let me know, keep the conversation going. So yeah, that's going to be it for me. So until next time, guys, have a good one.